Welcome back to the Titanium Hanger. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for August 28th, 2022, 2022. We've got some really cool stuff for Masterpiece and Legends and a little bit of mainline Transformer news. We've got another wave that's up for pre-order now, and people have been talking about this over the past week, so I'm going to talk about it too. We've got this fall geek out at Target, a couple of things up for pre-order right now. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming for pre-order down the road, like TMNT and other stuff that we actually don't know yet. Very little Star Wars news, but I'm actually hearing some more details about this Andor series. It's not good details either. I'm going to talk about that and more stuff coming up. First up, what's new at shows? See some cool stuff going on over there. If you're into the Legends and you like Shockwave, and you like Shockwave with a more toy color-esque color, then there it is. He looks very good. They're coming up for pre-order right now, $1 down. Don't know the price. I believe it's going to be about $40, but I might be wrong. It might be more than that. So anyhow, $1 down. I did pre-order this instantly. This is what I've been waiting for, but it's not painted. It is just a deeper color of dye to the plastic. But since the first one I passed on thinking I would like a future coloration better, I was right. I do like this one better than the first one, but I think the first one is still a fantastic figure overall. But you can see them side by side right there, and it's been a long time. I think it's been about a year since this has been available. There's also up for pre-order right now for $1 down, Forging Soul 1/60th scale AGS 28 powered Armor Series Polar Ape, and it looks very interesting, like a real tiny little guy inside of a giant mech, but it's not a giant mech. It's a tiny guy inside of a tiny mech. It's 4.33 inches tall, so this is almost Legend scale too, and sort of a Diaclone thing, so I can't imagine how big that little figure or character is inside there. And they're running a sale on the MP55 Nightbird. $144 is the price for the Nightbird on sale. I was actually a little surprised to see how expensive the Nightbird was, as he was more or less just a repaint with a few different tools, but hey, it's price break. Get a little bit cheaper if you want it. So there's a little something called BotCon right here. These pictures are provided by Brian Brink, and he's on Monday nights on Realm of Collector YouTube channel. Then you could check it out. He's probably going to have a ton more pictures, a whole lot more to talk about. I will not be missing Monday nights Realm of Collector. So anyway, this appears to be an X-Transbots version, or their take on an Orion Pax, and it looks pretty good. You know, one of the things that we were hearing when there's that set from Hasbro, why is X-Transbots not doing this? Well, X-Transbots is doing this, and they're adding a trailer, I guess, so pretty cool, pretty interesting. I'm sure we're going to get more information on this soon. There's also more pictures of their X-Transbots version of Ultra Magnus. Now, the colors on this and the color variation on this, it looks a little bit different than I expected, so I'm sure this is a prototype. It's not all the way done and all that kind of stuff, so curious what the end result colors will be. I don't think it looks bad. I don't think it looks bad at all. I just thought the colors and where they are just look a little bit different than this, but still really cool looking, pretty exciting. There's a lot more white on this than I thought I'd see, but it does look pretty accurate. It looks pretty correct, and maybe it's just the angle. Here's from a little bit different angle, and maybe it's just the silver thighs. Are those thighs silver still? Pretty cool and pretty exciting to get an Ultra Magnus in the Masterpiece scale. Yet another one. Here's Keith's Fantasy Club. This is the P6X Shard is what they're calling this. So this is a recolor of Wreck-Ar, and it looks like he's in a darker color scheme or something along those lines. So pretty interesting, pretty cool. I didn't know this thing was a thing. So sometimes you got to go to these conventions to find out things are things. So pretty cool. Appreciate it, Brian Brink. And there's another Optimus Prime back there. Looks like a Prime from the Prime series, right? We got a picture of the Fans Hobby Prime also, and this thing is really close to done, I believe. So looking pretty good, pretty interesting. The concept and the idea behind all this and how all these figures store in the trailer and the trailer converts and all that kind of stuff. Really cool, pretty interesting. I like that. Next up, we got this is a custom, and since we kind of just touched on X-Transbots and them remolding one of their figures from Cup into an Orion Pax, well, it makes a lot of sense to remold their Andrus into Alpha Trion. Now, somebody did that. Get Right Robot did it, and I believe this Get Right Robot is a professional customizer that makes these and sells these. This looks fantastic. I just can't believe that the base mold was originally the Andrus from X-Transbots, the X-Transbots Scourge or Sweep, And this looks fantastic. Just mind-blowing. We need this, of course, in the Masterpiece scale. And here he is from the back, very clean. Obviously, you have to take a lot of parts off or do some part swaps, change around. You can see he's got a different soft skid cloak and then a cape, and then you've got the wings that are actually hard wings. Now, I didn't see any some transformation alt modes or anything like that, so I did not see that in there. Here he is from the side with wings on, some of the hard wings on. So I don't know if it still transforms or not. So that's something would be interesting to have a question, find out if it does transform. And then this is side by side with what it first was to what it became. So much different, so many different extra added parts and stuff like that. Looks fantastic. Just kind of mind-blowing how good a work this is and how different it is. But the base was Andrus, so kudos, super duper kudos. X-Transbots needs to watch this and see if they can do it. Now, I don't think if X-Transbots did it that they'd go as far as making it much bigger. I think it would be just the same size and just a few extra parts, but that's my belief. There's something called Mini EV, and I don't know if this is Legends or if this is Masterpiece. I'm going to throw in the Masterpiece area here because we've got a lot to talk about in Legends, but it's pretty interesting. This is kind of the artwork behind it. Here is a figure, which looks pretty cool. It's kind of a Fembot, yet another Fembot, but it's a different take on a Fembot. It's not trying to be RC, I don't think. It's just trying to be itself, in its own world. And here we go with the Mini EV. So it's the electric vehicle it turns into. Pretty cool, pretty interesting. Just something a little bit different, and it's just kind of funny. When something's this different, it sort of catches my eye. And there's also someone out there making a kit for, I guess, being able to change your Ravage or Jaguar from the MMC Jaguar into an MMC Steel Jaw, which is, again, something else that's interesting. Would take a lot of skill and a lot of paint and all that kind of stuff, I'm sure, at the end of the day, but it looks pretty cool. I don't know if this kit's for sale yet, or it's going to be for sale, or if it was a proof of concept, but gets me thinking, though, we should be seeing those cassettes pretty soon from MMC. It's been years. It'd be nice to at least get the first one out of the gate, right? So I did get a video from Like Toys about the update and what's going on with this Metroplex, and there's a transformation video showing how to transform. There's two separate videos on transforming it into two different things, and it's going to be way too long to show all of it right here. So I saw someone else made a video about it. I'm going to make a video and have my own commentary about it and just talk about it as it goes, but it's pretty exciting, and just kind of seeing how much went into this and how much thought has gone into it, and it looks like it's going to be pretty solid, and all the tolerances are really good, and just I'm really excited about it. And I'm also excited about knowing that this is going to be huge, and it's going to be solid joints, all that kind of stuff. So pretty interesting. Biggest news in Transformers this year, right? Okay, so we got some more high-res pictures of 3.0 Bumblebee version Premium Optimus Prime, and this thing is huge. This is 19 inches tall, $479 price point, something along those lines, and it is big. So really detailed, highly detailed, 140 points of articulation, and it's supposed to be out, well, Q3, so pretty soon here in 2022. So big, expensive. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be in on this thing, and I'm kind of curious. You're going to have to dial out a whole shelf of these because it looks good by itself, but it also look great with a whole bunch of other ones. And I know they're making Bumblebee and a couple of others, so it's really pretty exciting to see something like this coming along, and that the community is so big that we can have these kind of high-end collectibles, premium collectibles, very expensive, but very nice, and just kind of interested in starting to see some actual reviews on this and what all it does, a non-transforming Transformer at that price point, and what can it do. Also, we've got this Nemesis M DLX, so it's a smaller version. So the smaller one, and this isn't based off the Bumblebee movie either, so this is more of their standard, what they've been doing. And it looks pretty cool, it looks pretty interesting, a Nemesis version. And I think that this is one that they'll probably sell way more of because of the lower price point, and it is smaller, I think 7-inch. I think when the MLX line last week, I looked it up, and it's around the 7.5 inch, somewhere around there. So still pretty cool, pretty awesome, and it's going to feel high-end and premium, just like a lot of these other ones that are out there. I think when they make them smaller, I don't think they really skimp on the premium quality to it. It's just smaller and, less part count, less pieces to it, a little bit less detailed, but still looks amazing. And we've got the YOLO Park, which is doing the same thing as 3.0, right? They're making a giant, massive, expensive, well, really expensive Optimus Prime, and then they're also making the smaller Plamo model kits, which are around 12 inches, 30 centimeters, something along those lines. So this is their Shockwave, and for the Bumblebee movie, it looks pretty good. And again, I want to emphasize this kit you have to put together. So really, it does look great, and I do think Shockwave is one of those that looks one of the better looking designs from the movie there. But here he is next to Optimus Prime, and so you get your Plamo Prime, I guess, and your Plamo Shockwave and all that kind of stuff. So still nice looking set here. If you're really into 12-inch and non-transforming and all that kind of stuff, there it is. And yeah, it's going to make for a nice looking shelf. I think we're going to dial them out at this scale, and at the MDLX for 3.0 scale much, much faster than you will with the higher, larger premium 19-inch figures. In Yellow Park's case, I think that other one is like 2 foot tall. All right, so getting into some Legends. This is big news in the Legends, which I'm not surprised. I'm just surprised how long it took. But here we go. New Age is coming out with their H45 Firefox, or Legend Scale Skyfire, and it's like right on the heels, more or less, of Magic Square. Now, Magic Square announced theirs like 4 or 5 months ago, so I figured like a week or two later we'd see this, and here we are 4 or 5 months later. So it stands around 18 centimeters tall, which I'm sure it's going to be about the same height as the Magic Square one. They've been upscaling. Their newer figures have been a little bit bigger, so that's pretty cool. Here he is from the side and the back. I will admit this is clean, and design-wise, it's going to be a tough decision between this one and Magic Square. It might go down to price or whatever, but price is $160, so that's pretty dang steep for a Legends figure. I know that I'm not into spending $160 on one Legend figure. Some people are. Some people are okay with that because it's like their main gig. This is what they collect the most. And so, hey, this is what I like the most, and I want it the most out of it, so I'll spend the $160. But if it's one of 5 Transformer lines you collect, it might not seem worth it for $160, but it does look good in both of those. So here we go with the Alt mode and the Gerwalk mode, which I'm starting to appreciate. I am really starting to appreciate Jetfire, because I'm looking into some of these Robotech things, and they are super expensive. Robotech is way more expensive than counterparts that are made Jetfire, because Jetfire is made in Skyfire, all that stuff is made in much, much higher quantities. Anyway, does look good, does look clean, both modes. Okay, so here he is compared to Magic Square on the left and New Age on the right. And so there are a few things about Magic Square that look good and a few things about New Age that look good. Now, first off, I want to say that New Age looks more premium overall. That clear cockpit with detail in the cockpit is a big, that's just huge. That's huge. Looking kind of cheap on the Magic Square side there. But you get down to the lower legs are way cleaner on the Magic Square version. And then if you look at the overall silhouette, they both look great silhouette-wise. So, I mean, I really can't argue about them. Getting down to head sculpt, New Age might be a win. I mean, it's just tough. But I don't know what Magic Square's price is going to be. But I imagine Magic Square price is going to be less than $100. And this is $160. So, I don't know yet Magic Square's price just yet. But anyway, crazy what's going on in the Legends game there. But looking at both of these, yeah, New Age does present better though. It's just really crazy. It's crazy. That's always the way it is. But can't wait to start seeing these coming in, reviews, all that kind of stuff. I've already got the Magic Square pre-ordered. I'm going to stick with Magic Square for now. So New Age is coming out with their H46 Backdraft, which is a G1-ish, very G1 Inferno. And he looks pretty good. So overall, I think it's a pretty good looking figure. Here he is in his alt mode, spraying all that stuff. So I guess you get all this. You get all of these effects and all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, like pretty good looking mold. I'm curious at the end of the day how tall he is. I mean, I could convert all the centimeters and stuff, but he does look like, I think he's going to be the right size. But then again, I've got some big Fans Toys ones, which are bigger, so 9.8 centimeters tall, so wow. Well, maybe he won't be that tall. So anyway, that is one of the things about New Age. You just don't know how tall they're going to be. Are they going to be big enough to fit in your display and look really good? 9.8, that's 3.85 centimeters, so on the small side, but still probably not too small. So Magic Square is shipping their Shadow Master. Now, we saw them coming into stock at Show Z, and now we're seeing shipments shipping out, so pretty exciting, pretty cool. I like seeing stuff like this coming along, but it's kind of interesting seeing tons of these figures all at once. So last week we talked about an upgrade kit for the Minosaur, for the Hasbro Minosaur, and DNA Designs making their own. So I don't talk about upgrade kits that much because I think that it really is. It's hard for me to put $50 on a $60 item, but this is already going to cost you like 150 or something along 180, something along those lines. Yeah, 180 to pick this up in the first place. So to put a $50 kit to make it that much better, I could do it. I think I could do it. If you already put your 130 into it, $50 more. But if you're only paying like $20 or $30 a figure, then buying a $50 upgrade kit doesn't make sense. So, but for this, it makes sense. Makes him taller and adds a whole lot more parts and pieces to him. Makes the feet a little bit bigger. His proportions are so much better. So for me, I think it would be worth it. And I still, I'm getting in on this, but I don't know. Haven't bit the bullet on the $80 Motormaster just yet. I'm hoping to find a Motormaster sale. Here he is in the alt mode, the truck mode, and it adds more to the truck mode. So that's really cool. So it's a longer trailer, and I mean, the picture's right there. How much better does the bottom look than the top? The upgrade versus the original. So I think it looks good. I think it's a worthwhile kit. And here we go with the kit on the alt mode battle station kind of thing. So yeah, I'm sure this was way easier to get to the X-Transbots one. That's for dang sure, but it doesn't quite look right. But this looks cool. It's okay. It's nice. It's there. But all the pieces do enhance this even a little bit more. So there's this Canon Optimus Prime that is a crossover that I had no idea was going to be so expensive. I thought, yeah, that's kind of cool. I mean, that's an interesting gimmick, I guess. But it's 150 or 160 bucks. I didn't know that at first. I was thinking like 50, maybe 70 at the most. And wow. So it's pretty expensive. And it is a bit bigger, though. It is. There's going to be a lot more plastic to it. It's a very small run exclusive. That's the reason it's so expensive. It's not because they're just trying to get over on you. But then again, the camera looks good. So I didn't think the bot mode looked all that great. But the camera mode looks perfectly spot on. So that's almost exactly sort of the same thing that they're doing with their train bots or their Raiden. So let's roll into that. So I know this is usually classified as a masterpiece, but I don't know, it feels chug to me. But anyhow, there he is next to some masterpiece stuff. And so he does scale as a big old long train. He scales with car bots, so still kind of feels chuggish to me, but pretty cool, pretty interesting. They're moving it along at about $200 a pop on these 6 train bots. Alright, so we got pictures of what's a possible Shattered Glass version of Perceptor. Now, the thing about this is I haven't even seen a standard Perceptor in the store. I've got mine. Should be shipping from TF Source, I guess. So, and I paid a hefty premium for that thing. So, I was wanting to get a spare, but not for that price. I was hoping to find one for a decent price in the store, but long story short, I didn't. So, anyway, still looking forward to the standard one. I'm not sure about this, but it looks like a good mold. Overall, looks like a good figure. Also, we have the back of it right here. So, yeah, pretty cool, pretty interesting. Just kind of some stuff coming down the pipeline. And I'm starting to feel like all of these are staged to look like they're either fake or someone else just sent them without permission. Seems like a Hasbro ploy at this point. So it looks like there's another trailer out or something for this new Earthspark. I'm going to give it a shot. It's on Paramount Plus. Well, if I can give it a shot, if they let me watch it, I don't know. Anyhow, I'm not going to subscribe to another streaming service, but it'd be nice to be able to watch it somehow. So still, pretty cool, pretty interesting. The next iteration of Transformers is coming soon. So we got some DZ in our Transformer Plushies by Hume Toys. And I don't talk about stuff like this usually. Super deformed and kind of stuffed animal kind of things. I don't usually talk about them, but I do want to point out two things. First of all, number one is it's kind of cool that they do kind of a transformation type of a color scheme in them. That's pretty cool. Number one. Number two is I'm actually looking at Funko Pops, and I'm looking for 10 Funko Pops that don't look like standard Funko Pops that actually function in a real action figure collection. So if you have any idea of Funko Pops, right now there's like a throne and a chair that I found and a couple of other things, but if you have any ideas of Funko Pops that don't look like standard Funko Pops, they would function in an actual action figure set where you look for real action figures and that kind of stuff. But this kind of reminds me of Funko Pops with the packaging and all that kind of stuff. but they are plushies and they're probably much bigger than a Funko Pop. But anyhow, kind of figured I'd touch on that. Okay, so there is TFCon coming up in Chicago, October 21st to 23rd. I'm very interested in the third-party panel there. I'm just wondering how much will be different. It seems like we just ended a TFCon, and now we're at a BotCon, and I'm sure there's a whole lot more BotCon that I don't know about that's not been shared just yet. But anyhow, I'll probably find that out Monday night on Realm of Collectors. Lastly, in the Transformers world, what's showing up, and this is in Canada, I believe, and they got some Velocitron, and whoever took this picture was a lucky person that actually got a Cosmos. I had to work hard to find me a Cosmos, and I did. I did find one, so lucky me. Again, the Cosmos is going to come in 8-packs down the road from what I hear, so it's going to be plentiful down the road, probably still only online. I doubt they'll show up in 8-packs in stores, but if they do, that would be cool. Okay, so what's showing up around here? I'm transitioning into, I don't usually talk about Marvel Legends, but this is much bigger than Marvel Legends. This is the packaging that has no windowless packaging. I have a few more things to say, a few updates for this. So, first of all, when I saw this, I'm not a big Spider-Man fan. I am not at all a fan of Spider-Man. In fact, I think he's the worst superhero ever created. But when I saw a Spider-Man for Marvel Legends in the vintage retro packaging with a clear bubble, and I bought it. I bought it. I'm not a fan of Spider-Man. He's one of my least favorite, but I still bought it in the retro packaging because I like the packaging. I still have it in the packaging. I was pretty excited about it, and I still have it. But these, I really, literally, I picked them up, and if I didn't know from covering news what it was, I wouldn't have known what it was. Seriously, I would have had no idea. Are these statues? Are they action figures? You know, what's going on with them? So that's going to be a big problem right there. Plus, you're not going to convert anybody. You're not going to convert the people like myself who are looking at Star Wars and Transformers and go, well, what's this? No, this is not a convertible item. And this is something they need people to convert. So this is a problem. I saw this, and I can see the future of it now. When it comes to G.I. Joe Classified, I'm hearing G.I. Joe Classified, they're actually saying that after 2023, so all of 2023 is going to have a lot of these closed box packaging, and then 2024 there's a possibility going back to correct packaging. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how it plays out. But my guess is lots of these closed packaging like this will go to super deep clearance. So that'll be good for the consumer in the long run. All right, real quick, Wave 10 is up for pre-order at BBTS. Now, I did an unboxing video of stuff I got from BBTS, and I want to say that you are guaranteed to get it. There is no chance of getting some of these at retail. And like King Randor is going to be pretty sought after, and was it Lasher or something like that? So some of these are going to be sort of sought after, and others are going to pegworm. And I mean, I guess looking at this, 2 on the left are probably going to sell well, 2 on the right probably going to pegworm a bit. So I did pre-order all of these to make sure I get them. But you are paying a premium at BBTS, $19 versus, well, I don't know, depending on where you go. But I think you can still, Target still got some for $15, and it's like the prices are so all over the place at Target. Walmart's are, I think, all $19 also. So pretty expensive for these. It should stay $15. They're reusing so many parts and molds. Like, why can't they stay $15? Okay, so there is the Target Fall Geek Out, which I want to talk about this. This is, it's good and it's bad, but mostly good. So with this, the first thing we'll talk about is this Lunchbox New York NYCC exclusive 4-pack. And so you get a lunchbox. It's a 10 box, I think. Yep, 10. And you get some cards and you get some figures. Since you don't have to pay for individual packaging on these figures, and they're just included in a bundle, you're getting per figure cheaper and basically a free lunchbox. So it's $60. I pre-ordered this, $60. So you get these two, the Joker and Batman, different recolors, and so that's because, like I said before, like McFarlane's going to put out a figure, and then you're not going to get it the same color scheme and like that again, but you'll get it again different recolored. I like these recolors too. Also, here we go with the Burt Ward Robin. It looks pretty good, pretty cool. And this, I think the colors are just deeper and darker than the original one, which I like. Again, I like. Still got that cheesy cape. I mean, is he saving like 6 cents a cape or something? I don't know, but yeah, it is a cheesy cape. And this one, and if you're gonna open them anyway, this is the way to go. But I think you can get some upgrade capes from Cape Master. Cape Master on eBay makes upgrade capes. I'm sure it'd work fine for this. Here is Penguin in a black suit instead of his other suit. So still pretty cool, pretty interesting. Looking at his hand, how it's open to hold an umbrella. I do think an umbrella comes with the villain's lair, and I think that was planned all along. We're gonna have parts and pieces for the villain's lair that you can use, which would be pretty cool and pretty interesting. So we've got an Alfred in Batman's costume, which I don't think is a good Alfred. I want a real Alfred. Come on, man. Give me a real Alfred. Maybe this is one step closer to a real Alfred in a suit. I don't know. But we're getting Alfred, which is basically just Batman with a mustache, right? So, I don't know. Obviously, I'm probably going to pick one up, but I don't know. I want a real Alfred. We have this animated series, Batman set, and there's two versions. There's a signed one for $80 and I think a $50 one that's unsigned, so if you're into it. I haven't picked up any of the animated stuff because it's just kind of not something, it's past my era, or maybe it's in a void between my collecting, I guess, and I just wasn't in on the animated, so. Anyhow, I think this does look pretty cool though, so out of the animated stuff that I've seen out there, this is one of the better looking items. And for Fall Geek Out, there's going to be a lot of Turtles stuff coming out. I can't even get my mind around all of the Turtle stuff that's coming. So closer to Friday, they'll be up for pre-order on Friday, I think. But start checking your stores and just asking your friends associates that work there. My friends at Target. I'm gonna ask the people I know at Target that would go back and check in the back for me. Some of them actually are interested in the stuff themselves. They don't really buy it, but it interests them, so they'll go back and they kind of have an idea what to look for. Sometimes they find something, sometimes they don't. But I'm hearing all this Fall Geek Out stuff is street dated till next Friday, so even if they do find it, they can't sell it to you. So Mayfex is coming out with this Arnold Schwarzenegger version. It is a really cool looking $110 6.3 inch heavily damaged sculpt Terminator. And so if you don't like the Terminator you're going to be getting with NECA, what NECA's doing, you can go Mayfex for a little bit more. I bet you it's going to be a little bit better quality. It looks pretty good. There's a bunch of accessories and stuff to go with it too. Yeah, I don't know why all these pictures are just really long. It's like they look like they're taken with a cell phone, on vertical cell phone, but they're not. So I don't know. Anyway, pretty cool, interesting stuff that's going on with this. And price point though, $109. I think I'm just happy with NECA at $37. Same thing with Battle Damaged Robocop, and Mayfex $110. Pretty cool. It's high end premium. I don't have any Mayfex stuff, to tell you the truth. I don't really go after it, but it does look pretty good, pretty interesting, and lots of detail and stuff. I want my Robocop to look clean, like he hasn't even taken a shot, but other people like this Battle Damaged. It's a big deal. So there's like no Star Wars news this week. Well, there's still news. Everyone's wanting to talk about the cancellations of the figures and then what's coming up and what's getting canceled, and there's just more people talking about cancellations. But this is the Regal Robot life-size Tusken Raider prop replica bust, and it's going to be up for pre-order Tuesday the 30th at noon. And so anyway, with that, it's a 1-to-1 bust. You get a helmet in there, or not a helmet, but like just the head. You can have the head. If you're into these bust collecting, then it's life-size. Pretty cool, pretty interesting. So still, it's just one of those things. It's like the biggest news in Star Wars. So what I'm hearing about the Andor series is that I don't know how true this is, or I don't know if it's even going to show through, if we'll even notice it, but I'm hearing that it is going to be sort of politically charged surrounding current environment and what's going on today. So if that's truth, and it is trying to fulfill some sort of an agenda, and I see that, I'm not going to be happy with it. I haven't really been satisfied with the last few things I've seen on Disney Plus, and I think this might just mark the end of myself subscribing to Disney Plus. And I'll just let we paid up for a whole year, so if this kind of stuff is going on with Disney Plus, just won't renew it in January. So it's one of those things. But heck, if I talk about anything political, like if I mention the word freedom 3 times in a row, then I might get my channel canceled. I'm not allowed to talk about freedom on my channel. So, but you know, they're going to be a politically charged Andor series. I mean, come on, give me a break. If that really is true, I mean, there's always a lot of rumors out there and stuff going on, but I'll watch it and give it a chance. I'm going to watch all these shows and give them a chance, but if I don't like them, then, and there's that nonsense going on in there, I'm not going to be very happy about it. Lots of news swirling around this week. Let me know what you think about what's going on this week. What is out there that I missed? What other cool stuff's going on I want to know? And what got you super excited this week, super stoked? And what's coming next week? Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, Titanium Hanger out.